What is the meaning of unconditional love? Like if you ask 5 different people, you'll get 5 different answers. So I'm going to share what my perspective is on unconditional love. And after the video, be sure to comment because I want to know what you think. Unconditional love. You know, this term usually pops up when somebody has done something that you're having a hard time loving them, right? In fact, you probably searched this video out because something happened and you're like, okay, how many times and how long do I have to really love this person? What does it really mean to have unconditional love? Well, unconditional love has actually evolved to mean a lot of different things, and some things that maybe are even a little bit conditional. So I've heard the term before that hate the sin and love the sinner. Well, the fact that you're calling them a sinner might even sound a little bit conditional. I don't know. Another thing that maybe comes into play, some things that I've heard is I am in an abusive situation and I have to stay there because of unconditional love. I have to continue to love that person even though I'm being abused. And to me, these are just evolutions of this term unconditional love that maybe are a little bit of a counterfeit. So thinking about this idea of unconditional love, what does love really mean in that situation? And the thought that I had was that maybe it's the level of connection, an unconditional level of connection for this person. Because love has a little bit different connotation than being in somebody's space or showing up for somebody when they need help. So what is love really? Is it a desire to share space? Is it a desire to connect? Is it a desire to serve? Or does it go much deeper than that? You know, there was a man who walked the earth 2,000 and something years ago, and he talked about something called charity. And charity for me is to be able to look inside of a person and see the intent of the heart. Charity is also expecting the person in front of you to be their highest and best, even when they don't even know what that looks like. So as we know, Jesus Christ, when he was on this earth, exemplified in a lot of different ways what charity really means. And as the woman that was taken in adultery, he saw her as her highest and best. And he invited others to see her as a mirror, to be able to look within themselves and see where maybe they weren't acting as their highest and best selves. His words were never condemning. He always asked questions to look inside and see where I can level up. So Jesus didn't ignore the sin. He didn't ignore the sinner. He didn't hate the sin or the sinner. There was really no discussion of either. It was just looking on the intent of the heart and just expecting that person to be at their highest and best, and using all situations to invite every person to look within and see how we can change. So for me, the real meaning of unconditional love is allowing freedom for you to be you, and for me to be able to see you as your highest and best, even if you're not showing up that way right now, but I can still allow that. And it also means that I see me as my highest and best, even if I'm not showing up 100% that way as well. I can have unconditional love for myself as well. And as I see you in your greatness, I'm going to expect that of you. I'm going to expect and anticipate that you have the capability and that you're able to show up as your highest and best. And I'm going to look within myself and I'm going to expect that I can show up that way too. And part of unconditional, and especially having unconditional love for myself, is that there's a certain way that I expect to be treated. And so this idea that unconditional love means that I have to stay in a relationship even if it's abusive, or I have to stand there and take it if somebody's being rude to me out of quote unconditional love, that's just simply not true. I have unconditional love for myself, and there's a certain way that I expect to be treated. And if I'm not being treated that way, then I have the choice to choose to put myself in a different space. And most especially if my physical safety is in question. I have unconditional love for myself, and I desire to be in a place of safety and love and acceptance. And sometimes that means stepping away from friendships and relationships that don't honor me, that don't allow me to continue having that unconditional love for myself. So my love for you and my love for me doesn't diminish because of the way things are showing up, because of situations that are happening. My love isn't diminished. I'm simply choosing to put myself in a place that feels best for me. So just in summary, unconditional love for me means 100% charity. It's seeing you as your highest and best and expecting you to show up as that person. And if you're not showing up that way, that's okay. I'm going to allow that freedom for you. And my unconditional love for me is that I see myself as my highest and best. I expect to be treated a certain way. I expect myself to treat myself in a really great way. And if I'm not 100% at my highest and best, I'm going to allow myself freedom to move at my own pace as well. All right, so did you change your definition of unconditional love? Comment below and let me know what you think. And be sure to subscribe and share this with your friends.